Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a woman who desperately wanted a child, but could not bear one. She cried every day from sadness. One day, as she cried, a fairy appeared before her. "Why are you crying? Tell me, maybe I can help."
"I have no one. I want a daughter. She would be a friend to me."
"Okay, don't cry anymore. I'm going to give you a seed, plant it and place it where it can get plenty of sunshine. Also, sing to it every day. When it grows and blooms, you will see a surprise." The woman did everything as the fairy said. She sat by the flower pot and sang to it every day. One day, she saw a small sprout. Soon after, the sprout turned into a pink rosebud. The woman was so joyful and happy. One day, as she was smelling the rose, she kissed it. Suddenly, the rose petals slowly started to unfold. Inside was a blonde-haired, pink-cheeked little girl as small as a thumb. She was so shocked and delighted. She realized why the fairy had given her that seed. She immediately took the girl into her palms and started talking to her.
"My beautiful girl, welcome to your home. I'm your mother. Your name shall be Thumbelina."
She immediately made a cradle for her out of walnut shells, a bed out of violet leaves, and a blanket out of rose petals. Thumbelina was so happy with her mother. She sang songs and danced with her. Her mother filled a cup with water and placed some walnut shells inside. Thumbelina would ride around with the leaves and shells for hours. Time passed, and Thumbelina had grown, yet she was still tiny. One night, as Thumbelina was sleeping in her bed, an ugly frog entered through a gap in the window. He stared at Thumbelina as she slept.
Oh, she's so beautiful, just the perfect girl to be my daughter-in-law.
He slowly picked her up and placed her next to the pond in the garden. His son immediately ran towards his father.
"This girl who is to be my wife is so beautiful, father. Let's keep her on this lotus flower until we prepare everything so that she doesn't escape."
In the morning, Thumbelina, who opened her eyes on the lotus flower, noticed she was in the middle of the pond, was very scared and so started crying. All the fish in the pond that heard her voice swam towards her.
"Why are you crying? What's wrong?"
What am I doing here? I was happily sleeping in my bed. I opened my eyes and I'm here. I want to go home to my mother.
That ugly frog and his son put you here. Apparently you're going to get married. Don't you want to?
No! Help me, please!
All the fish started gnawing at the stalk of the lotus flower rooted at the bottom of the pond. As the stalk broke, the lotus started drifting with the wind. It floated all the way to the side of the pond. But this time, a beetle living on the tree saw Thumbelina.
"Oh, an interesting insect that doesn't look like us. Let me take it home so my friends can see it too."
He immediately grabbed Thumbelina and took her to his home in the tree. His friends were very surprised.
"It looks just like a human. Take her away. We don't want her in our home."
The beetle thought he had upset his friends, so he took Thumbelina and left her in the forest. Thumbelina, who was incredibly hungry and thirsty, was trying to drink water from the flowers. Since she couldn't find anything to eat, she felt weak. The weather was also extremely cold, so she started shivering. Her clothes were even for summer. She walked for a long time to find some shelter. Finally, in front of a small pile of soil, a door appeared. She knocked on the door with joy. An elderly lady mouse opened the door.
I'm very cold and very hungry. Please take me into your home.
And who are you?
My name is Thumbelina. I'm gonna tell you everything that has happened. But first, can you please take me inside? I'm so cold.
Come on in, beautiful Thumbelina.
When she went in, Mrs. Mouse fed Thumbelina until she was full. And she told Mrs. Mouse everything that had happened to her one by one. As they were living together, one day, someone knocked on the door. They had a visitor.
Oh, welcome, Mr. Mole.
Thank you. And who is this beautiful girl, Miss Mouse?
Let me introduce you. This is Thumbelina. We live together now.
Very nice to meet you, sir.
Admiring the beauty of Thumbelina, Mr. Mole was now visiting Mrs. Mouse's house every day. He would bring lots of gifts and food to get Thumbelina's attention. After some time, Mr. Mole decided to speak to Thumbelina.
Thumbelina, I like you very much. I'd like to marry you and start a family. That is, if you would like to, of course.
Mr. Mole, thank you very much. You're a gentleman. But I'm not thinking about getting married.
At night, Mrs. Mouse wanted to speak to Thumbelina about this. She thought Thumbelina could be happy.
You don't want to get married, but let's just go to his house together. If you change your mind, you'll see what kind of a home he'll be living in. What do you say?
Actually, Thumbelina didn't want to marry Mr. Mole because moles live under the ground without seeing the sun. This was not appropriate for her. She was a girl of sunshine. Thumbelina didn't want to break Mrs. Mouse's heart, so she followed her and headed straight to Mr. Mole's home. But before they got there, they saw an unconscious pigeon on the way. Thumbelina ran right over to it. She wanted to know what had happened. When she carefully examined it, she realized that the pigeon's wing was injured. She rushed back home, grabbed the first aid kit, and returned to the unconscious pigeon. She dressed the wound and wrapped it tightly. The white pigeon that opened her eyes even managed to drink some water. I'll never forget your kindness, Thumbelina. One day I will help you too. At night, Thumbelina talked to Mrs. Mouse.
Dear Mrs. Mouse, there are a few things I need to tell you. First of all, I don't want to marry Mr. Mole. He belongs to the underworld and me on Earth to the sun. Also, thank you so much for everything you've done for me. You saved my life, but I missed my mother and my home very much. I will ask the pigeon to take me home as soon as she heals.
Okay, Thumbelina, as you wish, as long as you're happy. Anyone in my place would have done the same. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Same here, Mrs. Mouse. I will miss you very much.
A few days later, the pigeon was healed. I'm better now, Thumbelina, and I need to go. Do you need anything?
Yes, I would like to ask you to take me home. Can you do this for me?
With pleasure. Thumbelina bid farewell to Mrs. Mouse and climbed on the pigeon's back. They flew up in the sky. In order to not fall from the wind, Thumbelina held on tightly to the pigeon. They finally arrived at Thumbelina's house. Mrs. Pigeon dropped her off among the flowers in the garden, and she thanked her again as she soared towards the sky. Thumbelina, who was finally home after months of being away, ran to her mother and gave her a big hug. Her mother was overjoyed.
God, what a beautiful day. I'm so happy. We're finally reunited. Welcome, my beautiful girl. I've missed you very much.
I've missed you too, Mother. I'll tell you everything I've been through. Let's never be apart again, okay?
After all that had happened, Thumbelina never went far from the home. And she played with the flowers in the sunny garden. One day, she noticed a very special, sparkling, beautiful flower like the sun.
Wow, what a different flower. I don't think I've ever seen it around here.
Thumbelina jumped from flower to flower and approached that flower. And right at that moment, the petals of the sparkling flower opened up. Thumbelina, who saw a handsome tiny man just like herself, was shocked.
Oh, who are you?
I'm this garden's fairy. And you, beautiful girl, who are you?
My name is Thumbelina. My mother chose this name because I'm so tiny. This is our garden, but I've never seen you here before.
Both the flower fairy and Thumbelina had never come across anyone their own size. With this astonishment, they liked each other at the first glance. As time passed, they would wander around the garden, play games and spend time together. And one day...
Thumbelina, I'd like to ask you something. Will you marry me?
Thumbelina was very happy upon hearing his proposal. Because finally someone who she loved to spend time with, whom she could always live with among the flowers, and if she married, could live close to her mother, had proposed to her.
Of course, my prince.
As a wedding gift, the flower fairy sprinkled Thumbelina with fairy dust, and all of a sudden, Thumbelina had wings. The flower fairy and Thumbelina lived happily ever after in her mother's garden.
Hey guys! Subscribe to our channel Konta-san and watch the most popular fairy tales, cartoons, and nursery rhymes. Don't forget to click the bell for notifications.